As time goes on, I discovered that I started getting cold. So I had to ask my host, please, could you turn off the AC? Could you please turn off the AC? And he said, AC. Who uses AC here? Hey guys, how are you doing? Hope you're fine and you're keeping safe. I'm Rebecca and this is Becky's Reality. It's been a while, but I'm back. I'm happy to be doing this again. So today I'll be talking about some cultural shock I have experienced since I moved into the UK. These are something I have known, some of these things are something I have known, but experiencing it is something way different. So I've written quite a number of stuffs here. Yes, and I'll be looking at my notes to be dishing out the point to you. I'll be telling you the first shock and is it embarrassment? The first embarrassment I had when I came into the UK, the first one. That one is not on my notes. Yeah, but I'm someone I don't really like cold. I am the type that I usually make sure I try to keep myself warm as much as I can. When I'm to come into the UK, there was an arrangement that someone will come and pick me up from the airport, and along the line they discovered that they also have someone else that will be coming into the UK with me, a grandfather that is just coming in for his usual holiday. They are coming to pick the both of us from the airport on the same day, and it happens that we are boarding the same flight. A few days to the time, I was given the Reverend Father's number. I called that very day. The flight is for 10:30 p.m. Yeah, I got to the airport from Lagos. I got to the airport around 6, did all the checks and all that, and by 8:30 or thereabouts, I was seated in the final terminal that will lead me into the plane. Yeah, so there I met him. We just started gisting, talking, and we entered into the plane. And you know, now Nigeria, I came in during the peak of the summer where the weather is supposed to be warm, or where the weather is usually warm. I know Nigeria is hot now. The airport in Nigeria was still hot, but a little there is AC here and there. Yeah? And the place that we stayed before boarding was cooler. We entered the plane cool, normal. We came into from the plane. We arrived between 4 and 5 a.m. and we got into the airport at Heathrow, and it was cold too. So I didn't really notice that coldness because, you know, coming in, you've heard a lot of stories, immigration this, immigration that. So that kind of distracted me, because I was like, ah, God, I beg, have mercy. You've heard some of my friends that have come in before me, and you've read a lot of things happening about this immigration, this searching, asking of many questions. So all those actually distracted me. But the place was cold, but I was actually distracted. A lot was on my mind. I was praying and all that and washing. From there, we entered the car. It was cold. From there, got into the house. The house was cold, but it was one of those things too. So as time goes on, I discovered that I started getting cold. So I had to ask my host, please, could you turn off the AC? Could you please turn off the AC? And he said, AC. Who uses AC here? God, I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. Jesus. Whenever I think about what happened that day, I always feel embarrassed. Even thinking about it now, did I put in my embarrassment all out there? Yeah, but it is what it is. Yeah, this is my story, and I'm really not ashamed of it. But that was it. I was embarrassed. God, who uses AC here? I was like, but the weather is supposed to be warm now. And those people said they're even not wearing clothes around because it's warm for them, you understand? So that was one of the shock I had. Summer is supposed to be warm, but on that fateful day, it was cold. And it's in London, and London is one of the warmest parts in England. Yes, I've been to several towns or cities in England. London is one of the warmest. Although it's still cold to me, for me, but it's one of the warmest of all the places I've gone to. Yeah. So that's that. That's my very first experience of the change and of me getting embarrassed by myself. Not like anyone embarrassed me. I was the one that embarrassed myself. Yeah. So let me go into it. So the first one is the rooms are usually too small. Their rooms here, or their houses, yeah, it starts from the house. The houses are usually small. Most of the rooms here are way too small. I remember when I was house hunting a few months ago, I rejected a lot of places because the rooms are way too small. At some places you get into, everything will just be fine, but the smallness of the room will just discourage you or disqualify that house from being taken by you. Yeah, there's a room I went to. There are several rooms. There is no wardrobe already. No wardrobe at all, but the place is too small. What if you're not fixing a wardrobe? It means you can't see the floor to step on. Their rooms are usually too small. The second one is a left hand driving. Hey God. I remember when I first came, I usually get confused. Even to cross the road, I usually get confused. It was hard for me getting by that early time. I get confused when I want to cross the road, where to stand. The map might be telling you you have to stand here to take the bus, but you don't know if it's this part of the road or the other part of the road. It's usually very confusing, and at times it still happens to me. This one still happens to me up until now. At times when I want to get into the car, I open the car and I discover that, ooh, this is a driver's seat. It's something that it takes time to adjust to that system, especially when you are coming from a country where you are driving in the opposite lane. Yeah. Then the next one is you have to call and plan before you be able to visit anybody. Before visiting, you have to call. Will you be around? You have to plan. Will you be around? If not, Oyo becomes your case. Nothing like I was in your neighborhood, I was around the neighborhood, and I decided to pop in. You pop in, you see them, fine. You don't see them, that's your own case. And even when they are home, I remember some people have called me. This is another confession. Some people have called me and I'm not ready to see anyone. Probably I'm not ready to see anyone. I'm busy, I want to rest, this is my resting time, and someone wants to come and see me. I'll just say I'm not available. Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm not at home, but I'm not available. I'm at home, but I'm not available. So you book time, you call, you make plans before you visit someone. If not, you might not be able to see the person. And even when you see the person, you might not have the person's attention because everybody is busy here. Busy sleeping. Yeah, I told someone I was busy sleeping. The person said, how can you be busy sleeping? Yeah, – sleeping is part of it. So I was busy sleeping. Yes. So the next one is the weather change. The change in weather could be crazy. It could be crazy. It could be raining this time. It could be sunny the next time. It could be so hot that you're well kitted. It could be so hot the next moment. Even with the weather app, there could still be slight differences, changes here and there. Next one is the school system. Yeah, the school system is so different. One is that it is tuition free. Yeah, tuition free. Two is that the child has to get to a particular age before they start going to school. And even when they start going to school, they don't go to school every day. And when they go to school, it's not all day long. Usually they'll stay a few hours. You have to pick the younger ones first before you go and pick the older ones. And another thing on this is that they only attend schools that is within their locality. You can't just say you see back home, you can decide to take a child to somewhere you think this place is better of, might be miles away, probably close to where your office is or your business place, but here it must be within your locality. Although there might be some exceptions here and there, because there might be a school that is 10 minutes walk from you. I've seen some people leaving that school and going to some that are farther away, but it will still be within your locality. You can't just say I'm living in A and I want to go to E to go and put my children there. No. And at times you really don't have options, because it depends on when the children are getting into school. Depends on the time. At times the time when the children are getting into school might be the time that everywhere is filled up. So I've heard of some instances where there are maybe 4 children. You see that the 4 children, they are not even in the same school, but they will tell you there is no vacancy in this school for this age. Yes. So that the school system is way different, but very good. Yeah. The next one is there is nothing like shade. Back home, if you are walking down and the rain starts falling, you could run into someone's shade in a house that is along the road. But here there's nothing like shade. No shade to shield you from the rain that is falling or to shield you from the sun. Let me just stay here. Maybe you are waiting for the bus and the bus stop has no shade there. Let me just wait somewhere till the bus come. There is nothing like shade. The rain is falling, you be inside the rain. The sun is shining, you be inside the sun or under the sun. Yep. Then there's nothing like African time here. Oh. Nothing like African time. The bus moves at exactly the time. The train, there are little exceptions there, here and there, but there's nothing like African time. Oh, wait for me, I'm coming. You're on your own. The bus comes at exactly the time. The train comes and leaves at exactly the time. Then bus meetings, work is just exactly the time. Like I said, there might be some exceptions here and there, but there is nothing like African time here. Coming here, you have to reset your mind. Nothing like African time. When you hardly hear the car sounding its horn is rare. Although it happens, but it's very rare. Probably in a whole day you will never hear it. In a week you can hardly hear it. Yeah, but if your attention is needed, it can be used, but not like it is back home. Yep. So the next one is that if you are on the escalator and standing, you have to stand on the right side. The escalator is going up, and you are standing on the escalator, you stand by the right. The left is left. You don't stand on the left. It's left for those that are climbing up or climbing down. It depends. Could be the right or the left, but you don't just stand haphazardly on the escalator. Once you are standing, you're standing on a straight line. so that the other part is for those that are either climbing down or climbing up, or going down or climbing up. That's how it is. Yeah, then no jumping of queues. No jumping of queues or allowing pregnant women. Although, like I said, there are exceptions to some of these rules. In some places, they can give privileges to the pregnant women, to the elderly, to probably, it's not like a must, but it's something you could do to allow the pregnant women go first, then be in your front, then allow the elderly people or all those set of people be in front. But aside that, there's nothing like jumping of queues. You have to be on the line till it gets to your turn. Yeah, then this one is one of the ones I love. I love this one so much. There is no form of deduction from your account for any reason. Yes, I love this one so much. So if it's £5 you have in your account, your £5 will be sitting pretty. Even though if it's 1 year, your £5 will be sitting pretty there without any form of deduction. Unlike back home, you will, once you make a transfer, you are even seeing it there that 10 naira will be deducted. This one, there is no form of deduction. No form of deduction at all. I love this one so much. No form of deduction at all. Then another thing I've discovered is that the people here, they hardly eat much. Hardly, you see a full grown-up man is eating just 2 pieces of Weetabix. Some are even eating one. Some, you see them eating 1 slice of bread. Who does that? At times when I see them eat, I'll say, a year-old child back home, this food will not be enough for them. No, but these people, they eat. And at times I do think it's even the black that are even buying all this food from the shopping mall, because these people, they don't eat much. You see that sandwich that they are eating, that they sell in the shops, that's what someone is going to eat as breakfast. I don't think black people, they eat as little as that. That's what I've discovered. They don't eat much food. Then the next one is that you can see, if you want to see small cars, yeah, small cars, where they have lots of small cars. You see some cars, you say, what's the need of this car? Some cars has no boots, just see the 2 front doors. Already, you know, even some that has normal 4 doors is still very small. Unlike our place where we have big cars, you don't see small cars in our place. No matter how small the cars are back home, they are still not as small as these ones. Yeah. Then another weird thing is that you address people by their first name. Yes, no matter their status, no matter how elderly they are, no matter who they are, you address them by their first name. If their first name is Jonathan, you address them by Jonathan. Everybody has a preferred name they want you to call them, so you call them by that name. You don't add ma. There's nothing like sir. There's nothing like doc. There's nothing like a prof and all that. You call them by their first name, except even in the hospital, the little I've experienced, you still call them by their names. Yeah, you call them by their first names. Yep. Then another thing is that it depends on the area anyway, but a lot of houses have CCTV mounted on it. A lot. In 80 to 90% of houses that I have seen, there are CCTV to help check insecurities and all that. And you could see that in some platform, you don't see a particular person making an announcement, please could you check your CCTV at 5 a.m. They are trying to get someone, probably a car went through and did something funny, and they want to get probably the name of the car, the brand of the car, the plate number, and on the rest. Or probably someone passed through or picked something at a particular time and they want to get the person, probably get the face of the person. You will see them announcing, please check your camera around so time. If you could see a glimpse of this person's face, we need to report this person to the host, to the to the police. Yeah, so lots of the houses have, some area you go to, all the houses have CCTV cameras installed in them. Then you hardly hear thunder, lightning. You hardly see lightning, and the houses have this shock absorber and soundproof. A lot of the houses here, if not all, a lot of them have are installed with these soundproof doors and soundproof windows, that when you get out, you will ask yourself, is the rain falling? Though you will never hear that. You will never hear the rain falling from inside, because of the soundproof windows and the soundproof doors that have been that are installed in the houses. The next one is that you see people having smiley faces. Even strangers, they are smiling at you, telling you, calling you love, calling you darling, calling you honey. Is there honey? I can't remember if I've heard honey, but there are lots of love, there are lots of sweetheart, there are lots of darling, lots of pet names, but it actually means nothing. Don't be fooled by them. And you could be laughing with someone, probably you guys are talking and you're just having a little conversation and laughing here and there, and in the next 5 minutes you will see the person shouting at you as if you've been quarreling since. So if they are laughing, you want to laugh with them, fine, but don't take it to heart. It means nothing to them. Yeah. So the next one is that a lot of people smoke here. Oh, a lot. And it's like, it's not a shameful act. Like, unlike back home, when you smoke, you hardly see people that smoke safe. Apart from few people you see smoking on the way. But here, you see lots of them. It's kind of, you will hear them telling you that I'm going for my smoke break. I want to go and smoke. And they do it proudly. It's not a big deal to them. I remember the first time I came, I wrote it in my in my status. I was like, God, when will somebody breathe fresh air? Everywhere is smoke, 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 smoke. So someone replied me that, don't worry, you soon join them. Really? I was like, why would you say something like that? He said because they smoke because of the cold, and I discovered it's actually not because of the cold. If it's because of the cold, and during the hot weather, they won't be smoking, or during the warmer season, they won't be smoking. It's part of them, and there is actually nothing shameful with it or about it. Another thing I love about this is the return policy. Yeah. You can buy something and have the privilege of returning it if you don't like it, which is very cool. Yeah. So but these shops, they have the terms and conditions attached. Yeah. And you could return, it's not everything you could return. I have seen where it's written, some of the receipt you could see that it's written on this can't be returned, on this underwears can't be returned. Yeah, then you have the privilege of returning them between 14 to 45 days after you bought it, pertaining the thing is stay in its form, its original form, the tag has not been removed, then the receipts, you have it with you, you could return those things. Another cultural shock that I have is this maternity leave. which is between 9 to 12 months. Yes, then paternity leave is up to 2 weeks. Another one is it has lots of PDA, public display of affection amongst them. And at times it's really cool, especially when you see them among the elderly. They do it a lot among the elderly. The whole hands, it's part of it's the norm. Yeah, and it's very cool. So some it's not really all. Some of them are cool, while some it's really not what we're used to. And you also see this displaying all of these within the I've seen some school children, yeah, maybe one is jumping off the bus, they'll go and hug and kiss the they will hug and kiss themselves. Okay, yeah, so that's it. Another one is you have an opinion, leave it to yourself. Leave it to yourself. If you want to rant about your opinion, you can rant it to yourself. You don't have to make your opinion known. Your opinion is actually not needed, especially when it comes to controversial issue about gender, about religion, about sexual orientation. You have your opinion, leave it to yourself. Even in some groups, you are not to vent out whatever you think about it. You don't have to say it out, just leave it to yourself, because your opinion can be used against you. You leave your opinion to yourself. Then there is nothing like prank. That's one of the things I love. Nothing like prank. You can't prank anyone. You prank anyone, the police will be waiting for you, will be in search of you. Yeah, there's something I love is that the drivers, they know how I admire their driving skills, especially those ones that drive these trucks. I used to admire their driving skills. Yeah, I remember back home when I see all those trucks coming, Dangote. Hey, I will just try to make sure that the car is not close to them. Or if the car is close to them, I'll be praying, Father Lord, because those people they drive roughly. And here, if you are even turning, if it's a turn, you can turn comfortably without any form of fear. Close to a truck, there is nothing, not because those people they 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 go, they maintain their lanes and they know what they are doing, because the law is there. Like someone was saying that if you are caught, maybe you are not driving well, you have to go back to do that course. That was what someone said. I don't know how true it is, but you have to go back and do that course again for you to start to continue driving. So who wants to be doing that one, doing course, what you've passed already, you want to sit and do it again because you made an error in your driving? So most of them are really meticulous, are really careful when it comes to driving. Of course, there are those bad ones here and there, everywhere, it's everywhere. But I love their drivings, especially for those trucks, those bigger cars. I used to admire them a lot. Then when a car stops for you to cross, you have to tell them thank you by like raising your hands. Just raise up your hands. That's the way of appreciating them. Even though it's a zebra crossing, although in this my town you hardly see people telling you thank you for stopping for you to take the zebra cross. Yes, you hardly see people saying thank you. But in bigger cities that I've gone to, you see it, and it's so cute. You don't see them. Thank you. I used to admire them a lot. I used to admire it a lot. It's very, very cute. Yeah. And the last but not the least on this my seat, when you are getting off a bus, you have to say to the driver, thank you, or shares. Yeah, and it's cool. You tell the driver, thank you, shares. Or when you are entering the bus, you just say hiya or hello. Then after your ticket, you say thank you. It's kind of cool. Yeah, so that brings me to the end of today's section. I believe you resonate with some of these points, and this section was quite enjoyable. So if you know you've not subscribed, kindly subscribe, like this video please, and leave your comments. If you think I omitted some, you could kindly leave your comments there. And if you think some of what I said are totally not true, you know, some of these things that now not the same everywhere, like that CCTV, it's not everywhere. This being cautious while crossing the zebra crossing is not everywhere. Yeah, because I've gone to certain places, they just, the pedestrian take it as their right, but in some other places they still appreciate the driver for stopping, although it's still their right. So these laws, these shocks are not like they're hard and fast. Yeah, but it's something I have experienced. Yeah, so until I come your way, same time, same station, same channel, stay out of trouble and remain blessed. Bye.